Hey y'all, welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you've never been here before, my name is Adrienne. For today's yoga snack, I want to give you 3 core exercises that you can do to really activate your deep core transverse abdominal muscles and be more aware also of your pelvic floor. Bridges are great for pelvic floors. You can check out last week's video. I did some stuff with bridges there. If you like to practice, go ahead, get set up, and we'll get going. Exercises, I am going to use a block. I'll put a link below where you can get this one. It's a cork block. It's a Gayam, it's either Gayam or Manduka brand, but it's a little bit more dense with it being cork versus foam. If you don't have one, it's okay. We're going to use it later on, but just as a way to engage a little bit more of that lower pelvic floor region. So if you have one, you can have it close by. I'm going to start on your back. Once you're there, you're going to come into a reverse tabletop, shins parallel towards the ceiling, and then you're going to press your palms on the thighs. You're going to lift the core up, and then just do an isometric hold here. You should feel a little bit shaking starting to happen pretty early on, and if you don't, press harder. You can start off by doing 3 rounds of 5-second holds, and then eventually working to maybe upping that to 10 seconds, 15, 20, 30, whatever feels doable, but I can feel the core shaking here, and I'm just actively pressing palms and thighs towards one another and holding it. The second thing that we're going to do, you can use a block. I'll show you that as an option. You don't have to. If you have a block, it just gives a little extra challenge. You're going to go back to that reverse table on the right, place the block against the thigh, and then place the right forearm on the block. If you don't have a block, then just connect the forearm and the thigh. You're basically going to do the same isometric hold, pressing the forearm against the block or the thigh, depending. Use the opposite hand to support the head, and then extend that left leg up. You're going to squeeze the block and then start to lower and lift. So it's a combination of static and dynamic movement. Again, starting off with maybe 10 reps, and then eventually you can work your way up to a higher level. And then eventually, obviously, once you finish, switch sides, doing both to even it out. And then the third option, again, you can use a block, you don't have to. We're just gonna do a regular high plank. If you go into a high plank and you wanna use the block, I think it helps to engage those muscles a little bit more in the pelvic floor. You'll place the block between the legs so it's long ways, and make sure it's above the knees. Getting into your plank, you can either do it on the forearms or high plank, but you're gonna squeeze that block like you're trying to squish it together. If you don't have a block, obviously you can use it without, but you want to make sure that you're pressing those inner thighs up towards the ceiling, so there's still that muscular engagement, and then making sure that you're not dropping into the shoulders nor dropping into the low back, or almost like a little mini down dog, so hips and head are in line with one another. Things to keep in mind in your high plank: feet closer together are actually going to be more challenging. Feet further apart will maybe feel a little bit more stable and less and more accessible initially. You can also do a forearm plank, which sometimes people think that that's easier. I don't think it is, but you can try that out. It works the shoulders a little bit more. But again, if you have that block, you can use it to create a little bit more awareness of what's going on in the lower body, because that will also help to get into some of those deep core muscles. Again, I'll put a link below for this yoga block. You don't have to have it, you don't have to use it, but if you want to get one and try it out, I just think it can give a little bit more awareness to that area. If you have any other questions, please reach out, and I'll see you next time.